Did Canada PM mock Trump in Malaysia? Carney calls Doug Ford president in viral video. Did Mark Carney just out-Trump Donald Trump? Because, ladies and gentlemen, Canada's Prime Minister just pulled off the political prank of the century in Malaysia, and honestly, I'm not sure if this is 4D chess or the most expensive dad joke in diplomatic history. Buckle up, because this story has more plot twists than a soap opera written by a caffeinated screenwriter. What's up, Canada Bulletin crew? If you're new here, welcome to the only channel that makes Canadian politics feel like a Netflix drama you can't stop binge-watching. And if you're already subscribed, you beautiful maple syrup enthusiast, you're about to witness the most delicious political irony of 2025. Hit that like button if you think Canadian politics is criminally underrated. So here's the tea, and it's piping hot. Mark Carney, Canada's Prime Minister, just flew all the way to Kuala Lumpur for the ASEAN Summit. Important stuff, right? Global diplomacy, trade discussions, the whole 9 yards. But what does he do on camera? He calls Doug Ford, Ontario's Premier, President Ford. Now, before you say, so what? Everyone makes mistakes. Remember this. Donald Trump has been calling Canadian leaders president and governor for months like he's playing political Mad Libs. And now Carney just did the same thing? In Malaysia? On camera? With a smile? Chef's kiss. The audacity. The timing. The symbolism. But wait, because this isn't just about a verbal slip. Oh, no. To understand why this moment is chef's kiss perfection, we need to rewind the tape. Let's set the stage, shall we? Donald Trump recently dropped an economic nuke on Canada. We're talking ended trade talks, jacked up tariffs on Canadian goods, and basically went full angry dad who just discovered his credit card bill mode. Why? Because Canada had the audacity, the absolute gall, to remind Americans that Ronald Reagan, the Republican Party's patron saint, was actually against tariffs. Doug Ford, Ontario's Premier, yes, the same guy Carney just called president, launched this ad campaign. It played on U.S. networks like a Super Bowl commercial, except instead of selling beer, it was selling historical facts. And Trump? Oh, Trump was big mad. Like tweet at 3 a.m. levels of mad. The accusation? That Ford was sabotaging U.S.-Canada trade talks. Because apparently, reminding people about Reagan's actual policies is now considered sabotage. I mean, if facts are sabotage, then history teachers everywhere are international terrorists, right? Now here's where it gets spicy, and I mean ghost pepper eating contest spicy. Despite being political opposites, Carney's a liberal, Ford's a conservative. These two claimed they're united on the U.S. trade issue. Ford even said he'd pull the Reagan ad. Diplomatic olive branch extended, right? But then Carney flies to Malaysia and channels his inner comedian. He's talking to the ASEAN Summit, all professional and prime ministerial, when he says, "My good friend Premier Ford." And yes, he used Trump's signature good friend phrase, which is already hilarious. Then boom, he hits them with President Ford. The correction? Perfection. He literally says, and I quote, "God, sorry, I don't know why I mixed the two up. President and Premier Ford." The smile on his face? That wasn't confusion, folks. That was the smile of someone who knows exactly what they just did. That's the smile of a man who just pulled off political satire at an international summit. And if you think this is where the irony ends, oh honey, we're just getting started. Remember how I said Trump's been playing fast and loose with Canadian titles? Let me paint you a picture. Trump has called Carney president instead of prime minister. When Carney corrected him, Trump's response was basically, "Hey, at least I didn't call you governor." Like that's the bar we're setting for diplomatic accuracy now. I didn't call you the wrong thing, just the slightly wrong thing. And let's not forget poor Justin Trudeau, Carney's predecessor. Trump literally invited Canada to become the 51st state and suggested Trudeau could be the governor. Like Canada is some sort of political DLC pack you can just download. Trudeau became such a punching bag for Trump's jokes that it contributed to his resignation earlier this year. So when Carney accidentally calls Ford president, after all of this, that's not a mistake, my friends. That's a masterclass in subtle shade. That's diplomatic trolling at its finest. That's the political equivalent of, "I learned it from watching you, Dad." But let's talk about what this actually means beyond the memes. Here's the thing about political slips. They're rarely accidents at this level. Carney's a former Bank of England governor. He's navigated international financial crises. This is not a man who fumbles his words without realizing it. Was this mockery? Maybe. Was it a pointed reminder that Trump's behavior has consequences? Probably. Was it Carney showing he won't be bullied or diminished by Trump's childish name-calling? Definitely. Because here's what's really happening. Trump has spent months undermining Canadian leadership by deliberately using wrong titles. It's a power move, making someone seem less important by mistaking their position. Classic bully behavior wrapped in a "whoopsie, my bad bow." Carney just flipped the script. He used Trump's own tactic, but with a smile and a wink that said, "See how ridiculous this is?" It's like when you repeat something your annoying sibling says in a mocking voice, except the whole world is watching and international trade relations are at stake. The genius? He can claim it was an honest mistake, because he literally said he always mixes them up, while everyone knows what just happened. Plausible deniability meets masterful shade-throwing. And here's why this moment matters more than you might think. Canada's been in a tough spot. We're sandwiched between appeasing our largest trading partner and maintaining our dignity. Trump's been treating Canada like a punchline for months, and it's genuinely affected how the world sees Canadian leadership. What Carney did, intentionally or not, was reclaim some power in that dynamic. He showed that Canada won't just roll over and take the disrespect. But he did it without throwing a diplomatic tantrum, without escalating tensions further, and with just enough humor that it's almost charming. This is the kind of political move that makes other world leaders go, "Oh, okay, Canada's not playing doormat anymore." Plus, the timing, impeccable. Right after Trump ends trade talks and raises tariffs, after the Reagan ad controversy, this wasn't random. This was strategic. This was calculated. This was Carney saying, "Two can play this game, Donald." So, did Mark Carney mock